What's up YouTube, Cardfight Vanguard, and today I'm showing you the Cardfight Vanguard online closed beta. Well, I got the key, the beta key on Friday at 2 o'clock in the morning, so I didn't actually record this till this Saturday, I believe. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply just going to explain how good what my views on the beta. In the first minute or so, there was an issue with getting a fight up, so that will fix itself. But so to get the key, you had to apply. I think Bushiroad were advertising it on their Twitter and Facebook page. You simply just had to apply from there, and you'd have to wait for a few waves of keys. I think I got mine in the second wave, and the third wave now, as I'm recording the audio. I think that just came out on Monday, I think it is. So this could have been uploaded longer, just technical difficulties. So anyway, the beta itself runs actually quite well. As you see here, there's a quick notice of quests. I'll go over the quests a bit later on in the video. So what can I say? It will ask you to go through tutorials. You don't have to go through them, I believe. I did them anyway, and for every tutorial I did, I got one of the 5 structure decks, which were Gear Chronicle, Royal Paladin, Neo Nectar, Aquaforce, and Link Joker. You get those 5 trial decks just for going over the beta. So that was quite a good thing, so it doesn't leave you redundant or leaves you with just one deck. So the way this game decides who goes first or second is pretty much they flip a card around. If it's blue, you go first. If it's red, you go second. As you can see here, I'm just playing with the Gear Chronicle trial deck. If you remember in one of the previous videos, it was on Cardfight area, and I had to do commentary on it because it was quite small. If you can see stuff and find on this, please do tell us in the comments, so I know not to do commentary as much as in going over effects of that, and I might just upload the videos as a fight. So the good thing about this is it automatically does effects for you. So as you saw there, my opponent raided and his starter moved back, and the game does give you the option to move it back, and it will move it automatically. Well, you choose where you want it, and it just moves it there, if I'm honest. So it's a good thing it always double checks. A bit of a confusing thing for me, as much as either that or I'm just a bit dumb, is at the bottom right it says end phase. Now for me playing something else, I thought end phase meant end turn, so when I first played it, I was like, does that end my whole turn? But it doesn't, so that's a good thing. If you see numbers in the top left hand corner, that's just my frame rate. It's just a program of mine's kicking in. Well, not mine, I just downloaded it and it's kicking in. So another good thing is that it automatically does the math for you. So I think the only thing you need to do is calculate how much shield you want. As you put cards down, the shield number will go up. It automatically does drive check for you on the trigger check zone, and for damage as well, which is actually good. For foiled cards, as we saw there, I think that was Fate Wheel Dragon as a double rare. If it's a foiled card, it shines a bit, which I find quite nice, to be honest. You can kind of show off the rarity of your deck. I don't know what an SP looks like though, and I'm kind of curious. The way the shop works in this game is that you have to spend gold to get cards. So it's 300 gold for a booster pack and 1,000 for a trial deck, which doesn't sound a lot, but for every game you win you only get about 30 gold. But that's before the quest. So like if you've got a quest to get one win and it gives you 1,000 gold, then you've got yourself 3 packs of cards or a trial deck. But 30 gold just seems a little bit too small, if you ask me. I mean, keep the price of the packs the same, but kind of give 50 gold per win. So then it feels like you've actually achieved something in a way. So there's that. Another good thing is that we can actually buy playmats. So if you don't actually like the way this playmat looks, you can just go ahead and buy a new one for 300 gold, so 10 wins. If you don't like the kind of picture you've got on the top left or right hand side, which is your avatar, you can also buy another one of them. You get the Chrono Dragon as a generic starting one. And you can also buy sleeves for the deck as well, which is quite nice. So if you don't like seeing the normal old Vanguard back, you can buy sleeves. You can buy Chrono Dragon sleeves, Asher sleeves, and Artmile sleeves, I think. Maybe Thavas and Alter Ego Messiah. I'm not 100% sure, so just gonna have to wait for that. Or when I look back onto the shop at the end of this fight. If this fight actually took a while, just because I was reluctant to lose. Another good thing about this system again is if you look below the avatar of my name Nanashi32 or my opponent Silver Sky Gazer, it shows damage, how much damage you've taken, your hand size, and how many cards are left in the deck, and how many's in your drop zone, which kind of helps you keep track so you don't do something dumb. Like me when I play in my gold paladin deck, I just call for days and then lose track of my deck. So this game, if you've got a grade 3 in hand, it will always ask you to ride it. And if you say no to the ride, it'll ask you to stride, as it's showing you here. Again, you just click the grade 3 and you stride, but the animation is quite nice. Kind of shows that you're kind of exceeding grade 3. I'm just thinking what else to say about it. If you look at the bottom left hand side below the easy fed recordings, as I think that's what it's called, it has menu. So from there you can choose to surrender or that. So if you think you're gonna lose the game, you can do that. There's no shame in giving up, to be honest. I do it, but that's just me because I've got a defeatist attitude coming from people. I'm just thinking what else. I think the only bad thing in this is probably the shop system, as you have to pay 300 gold for a pack or 1,000 for a trial deck, and it's already taking you 10 wins for one pack and 35 wins for a trial deck. That can be very time consuming and annoying, in my personal view, because there's like nothing worse than you have to grind over and over again, but you don't have like a competitive deck or something. I mean, if you can make stuff work, it's fine. I'm not judging if you do, which is a bit like me. I built a really cheap Kago deck a few years back and actually killed the end. I don't know how, just built it for the giggles. Anyway, whenever your opponent is activating an effect, the system will always show, will always say, look, your opponent's going to use an effect. It gives you 5 seconds to notice the opponent's doing it, and you just click yes, and it'll just continue on as if nothing had happened. Again, the file is quite nice in the game. It can be a bit distracting because I got a bit distracted from the shine a wee bit. I suppose that can be a small bad thing, but then again, it's to show it's a rare card. So I think after playing this for a while, you will probably come to terms and probably ignore it as if it was nothing. The soundtrack in this game is actually quite nice. I think, well, to me, it's quite soothing or kind of pumps you up to fight harder, I believe. I didn't know how to phrase that, if I'm entirely honest. But the soundtrack in the game is quite good. There are other things in the game like there's a thing called CP. I believe that's called card points. So from there you can actually craft cards. So let's say you bought a pack and you pulled in it and you pulled in it an SP. However, you've got no use for that SP at all. It's nice to have, but you don't really use it. And we can disintegrate that, and you'll get like 5,000 card points. And from there, we can build cards from the card points you've got. When you disintegrate great cards, I think you get 5 for common. 5 for common. That's what I can. Hang on, 5 for common. 25 for rare. I actually don't remember, but I know it's 35,000 to build an SP, about 5 to build a common, 25 for a rare, about 100 for a double rare, I think it is, and about 1,000 or something for a triple rare. If I'm correct, I actually don't remember. So you can build cards as well, which is actually quite a nice thing to do. Another thing is that when you buy a pack, and just say you already had 4 of, let's say, Cronus Command Dragon, it will automatically disintegrate it for card points, so you can build a deck towards. No, it can build a card towards a deck. That can be good and bad if you ask me, because I think it's a good thing actually, because it's getting rid of stuff you don't need more than 4 of. It's kind of its own way of saying, look, you've got a place out of this. You don't need 5, and we'll disintegrate it, and you can build a something else for that card. Yeah, it's when you use Gear, I forgot its name. It's the starter for Gear Chronicle. The game just shows you all the options can have. So let's say for Royal Paladin it was Twin Blade. It would show you all the possible grade 0s, 1 and 2s you can call. So unlike Cardfight area, you constantly have to look through the deck and go this, and then you have to click shuffle. On Cardfight Online, you just have to look through and it will automatically shuffle for you, which is actually quite nice. So you don't have to waste your time searching through the entire deck and then shuffling the whole thing just by clicking. It'll do it automatically. And when it comes to power, it automatically adds it up. I mean, Cardfight area did it for triggers, but if you do it for a skill, like in the draw trigger for Gear Chronicle, the one you stick into Soul, all you do is that you just choose who you want to give the power to, and the game will give the power to that unit, so you don't have to constantly just type it in all the time, which is actually quite relaxing, in my view. What else can I actually say about this? I'm trying to think, but I think I'm going through it all too quick. In the beta, you only get 8 clans, because I think if they put in too many clans at once, the game for beta would just crash too frequently, I say. So the clans they've got is Gear Chronicle, Royal Paladin, Neo Nectar, Aquaforce, Link Joker, Kagero, Nova Grappler, Orko Think Tank. So those are the 8 clans you get. So pretty much 5 trail decks and 1 booster set. Again, if you put in too much stuff in like a beta, stuff will crash pretty easy and frequently. And if that keeps happening, I don't think people will really want to test it if it constantly crashes. So it's kind of good how it shows. No, it's kind of good how they only put in 8 clans in it, because I believe, well, I've got the graphics in this on the highest settings I could, and I believe if they put in any more, cards in, I think my frame rate would go all over the place. I think, I'm not 100% sure. Or the CPU of my laptop would probably, or RAM will just take a fit. So this game, I think this fight actually lasted about 20 minutes, 25 I'm going to say. But it was actually a good game. And what else is there? The options is quite limited as well. And you can change the graphics settings. You can turn down the sound if you don't like the sound. So all the basics are there. There is a few things missing out in the closed beta, like community. So I'm wondering how that's gonna go down. I wonder how it is gonna go. Maybe trade cards about. I'd say, if you ask me. I just think you'll get the option to trade stuff about, or like have tag matches or custom games. Um, one thing they could do is maybe, just maybe, um, make it that you earned 50 coins per win, so you don't, so it's not as time consuming just to get 10 wins for pack. Instead, it could be 6. That seems more reasonable in my view. So you're not spending ages and ages just grinding away. I mean, again, if you're into that stuff, it's fine. But with me, I can be a bit impatient and bored easy, so I can sit there and go no, and then get sidetracked to something else. It also keeps track on how many turns the game's lasted. It's by the left-hand side, so you know how long the game goes, and also keeps track of all the phases in case you lose track of the phase sometimes. Again, with the playmats, they've added nice small detail like guardian, circle, rear guard, circle, vanguard, circle, trigger zone, all that kind of small stuff, which is actually good for people who are beginning, so they know where to place stuff. I mean, as much as the game's gonna just do it for you, it's something good to keep track. I believe the game will be free when it comes out, I think. But I know that anything you earn during the beta doesn't carry on to the full game. So with me, I've been playing it, but I've not been massively fond of buying stuff because I know for a fact it won't can't carry on. I mean, your profile will. It's just anything you've earned just won't, which is a bit of a downer. But it did say that in the email, so I knew what to expect in a way. They've done the packs a bit differently in this. Instead of getting five cards per pack, which is 4 common, 1 rare above, you get 7 cards, but it's only 6 common and 1 rare above. I mean, if they'd done it a bit more like their clan boosters and that, so you get 2 rares, I think it'd be worth it spending 30 gold per win, if you ask me. But that's just my personal opinion. I don't know what they can do or what they will do overall, but it'll be definitely interesting to see what will change when the full game comes out. I'm thinking what else there is to actually say about the game. I've got a funny feeling I've missed stuff, but I'll go over the quests I think I've not mentioned. So every day you get a new quest, like win with this specific clan. I think on the day I recorded the gameplay, I had to get 3 wins with Gear Chronicle. So hence why I was playing with Gear Chronicle at the time. But as you saw there, I don't think I've mentioned it at all. Is that when you click on a card to guard, it will add up the shield. Unlike when you actually play the game, it's yourself. You actually have to think. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just sometimes I draw brain farts and sit there and go, have I put in enough? Maybe. But then this just adds it all up, so you don't have to really worry about it. Because, for instance, with my gold paladins, I run the BT15 guy that goes counterblast 1, for every rearguard you have gets plus 5k, but he's only for liberators. Sometimes I actually have to count, and then I lose track and then double check over and over again. But again, this just does it automatically and asks you if you want to use the skill. I'm actually trying to think because there is a lot to say about the game. It's just I think I'm going on a bit too much at once. So another thing they've included is, well, when you do win a game um you you do buy packs and that, it doesn't open it straight away. It gets put to your email, no, to your inbox, I should say, in game, so you can just open it from there, which is a bit different if you're just used to almost straight away opening packs straight away in games. Because I know it did it in like the Yu-Gi-Oh games when I played them years ago. When you just buy a bunch of packs, then then open it for you after you bought the packs. You didn't have to go to your in-game inbox or that. It was automatically there. So that's, I mean, it's not a bad thing, to be honest. And so you can keep track of what's going through. It does have a card of the day, so like every day you'll choose a random decent card, I believe. So that's not a bad thing. Well, it's not a bad thing either. It's kind of like promoting other cards that aren't really used much. So let's say Thabas, for pure example, it'll show that, trying to encourage people to use it. Because I know sealed dragons aren't used a lot. I mean, a certain episode for Vanguard came out. Well, in the new season, I'm not saying who's used it in case I stumble upon a spoiler. But when they got the boost in winter, they showed a character using it, trying to get people kind of pumped up for the deck, because it's kind of underused in a way. So I think that's what they're trying to do with card of the day. It will show, well, for the Cardfight Online one, it's showing cards from like the main grade 3s and trial decks at the moment from what I've seen. But if it moves on to the pack, I think it'll go over the triple rares, just trying to encourage people to use certain decks, which is not a bad thing, again. But I'm actually trying to think what to go over, because I'm going over everything too quick, and I think I've got another few minutes of this yet to go over. Oh my god, come on. How deep did I look through this? I definitely think they'll have the ban list on this, so like Conroe and Barkle's not really allowed to be used as a starter. I think and I hope they'll put the ban list in the game, kind of like to show. So if people don't really pay attention to social media much, it'll be in the game, and it'll be updated in the game for when and how it goes. But I don't know what ban list they will use. I don't know if they'll use the Japanese ban list, which is like now for Commander L'Oreal and that. But or they'll use the English one. Kind of curious which one they'll use, if you ask me, because I know in the Japanese meta, Mecha Trainer's on their warning list, and Mecha Trainer is Counterblast Run, Retire Me, look through the deck for grade 1, add it to hand for Spike Brothers, which I use in my deck. So so what I'm trying to say is that I'm hoping they will show the ban list on this game, in case you don't actually pay attention to the Facebook or Twitter page, which will be ideal if you ask me. So if you don't want to look on Facebook for whatever reason, you can just load up Cardfight Online and check. I think this was my last turn because because I had a feeling I was going to lose. So what I done here was I said to myself, stuff it. I'll go for one more push, and called the heal trigger. And when I play the game, I don't actually call triggers unless I utmost have to. If I think I can win or get that final push. But I think I underestimated my opponent's hand a bit, or what they had in hand. So that's what kind of probably hit me, if I can English. Um, what I'd like to see them do as well is whenever a full booster set comes out, they release it on release date as the same time as it comes out. So if you know what I mean, if not, let's just say let's say the new technical booster that's coming out this Saturday, I believe. Um, if they release this on Cardfight Online the same day it's released, that would be good. Either that or just like a month a month behind it. Because if you actually think about it, they have to put it all into the coding system and that, which can be very annoying and time consuming. But nonetheless, it'd be good if they did that. But if they can't do it within the same day, but do it within a month or so, that's fine as well. But we'll again just have to wait and see what they do. Oh, I'm actually trying to think what to say. I've said this about 3 or 4 times, but I think I'm going through everything at once too quick again. So I went over the card points. I went over the gold and the store system. I went through how they get rid of play sets of cards. When it comes to actually building a deck, I should go over that. When it comes to building a deck, it shows how many copies of the cards you have. So 1, 2, 3, or 4, as it does in any game, to be honest. Can be a bit finicky when you start and you actually choose which cards you start in vanguard, so you don't have to just like look through the deck like on cardfight area and that. You well just and click it, and when the game starts, if your opponent hasn't clicked on it, they'll have to look through the grade zeros and put it down. So that was my today's quest. Just there, 3 wins, 1 win, and three wins with the one clan, opposite the clan. So here we have free fight, player search, and that ranking. I've not actually done any of that. And tournaments, I wonder what they'll do for tournament rise. Here it's just your profile, so your sleeves, the playmat, your rank, tournament rise, first, second, third, and your self introduction and winning. There is terms of use help, and there's even the rules here in case someone's completely new. This is the crafting system here. So for common, it's 40 to create, and you get 5 for disintegrating it, or dischant. For rares, I think it's 100 to build. No, that's for promo, but that was 100 to build. It's 100 to build and 40 to and you get 20 or 40 to disintegrate. I think I went over this too quick. 100 to disintegrate, 400 to create for double rares. For triple rares, it's 600 to create and 1,500 to dischant. And to create an SP, it's 30k. But if you disintegrate them, you get 5,000. It's alright. It could be a bit better for the disintegration run because they're so rare. This is the shop system here. So you can buy your avatars, you can buy playmats and sleeves, trail decks and packs. It says campaign there, but I'm wondering what the campaign will be like. If the game's actually gonna have a campaign, I don't think it is, but I don't know what they mean by campaign. So that would be different. And this is the deck building bit, so you choose kind of what deck you want to build in that. As I said, you start off with 5 trial decks. The Gear Chronicle, Royal Neo, Aquaforce, and then Joker. So you just get one. You actually have to buy 2 to get a fully built deck. as you have to do in real life. But I think that's all I can really go over in the system, apart from the information bit that tells you any updates. The inbox, so when you buy something, it comes in, and the quest, so every day you get a new quest in that. Since it's a closed beta, you will have the reclosed beta bug slash issue form, and that will probably be gone. So that's all I have to say about Cardfight Vanguard Online, and we'll see you soon.